Folks, great to be here at Vancouver. In a short time, so it will be a fairly quick run through here. Cautionary statement, you're all sophisticated investors, but I will be making forward-looking statements. Aston Bay, we have our flagship property was located up in Nunavut. This is our Aston Bay property. What we're looking for up there, sediment-hosted copper and zinc, those big high-grade deposits. It's a great location. It is far north, but we're on tidewater. We have David Broughton directing exploration for us up there. He's one of the premier sediment-hosted copper experts. At the moment, though, the market doesn't want to hear about copper or zinc very much, and certainly not that far north. Good news for us, we have really negligible holding costs, so we're just going to hold that one, wait for the market, and hope to get back there soon and continue looking to make a discovery up there. Our efforts right now are really going to be focused in Virginia. This is a set of properties that we've picked up. Essentially what this is Don Taylor's other company. For those of you who don't know Don Taylor, he's the guy who really started Arizona mining. The Taylor deposit that was bought by South 32 last summer for a ludicrous amount of money. He did very well there, a proven guy. This was his other company. This was his private company. We've picked it up, and the good news is Don has come on board with us to continue to direct the exploration. What we're looking for there, two things mostly. Gold, certainly we have these Carolina slate belt style of deposits. You can think of the Oceana's Hale mine, that's the old Romarco play. And also we're in the Virginia Pyrite Belt. There's actually a historic gold mining area. There's also copper, zinc, and cobalt. And again, the market is really not interested in that. But, having Don Taylor on board and have been worked in this area since the 90s, Don has the relationships and then the connections here. We look to get back into looking for copper and zinc when the market is ready. Virginia, what are you talking about mining in Virginia? There actually is a very historic, it's a very rich history of mining in Virginia. It just kind of stopped at around 1850 when the California Gold Rush came on. I found this historic plaque near where we're drilling. Essentially, it says that this was the premier gold mining district in the United States prior to the California Gold Rush. It just got so much easier in California, and then up in the Yukon and Klondike, and then of course the Civil War intervened in this area here, and they just never really got back to mining. So we know we have historic production here, 287 past producing mines. So it's has great brownfields potential here. 1850, they didn't have the exploration methods that we have today. Things like geophysics, geochemistry, things like drilling. You can imagine trying to promote a property right now without any drilling. It's very difficult to do exploration without that. And then, of course, these mining technologies, pumping technologies just didn't exist, the way we have them today. Many of those past-producing mines are 100 feet deep, and that's really as deep as they could go. So, again, great potential down dip as well. And then, of course, the extraction technologies are so much more advanced today. Things like 5 grams gold, which would are pretty encouraging these days, and something you could mine. Back then, it was just not of interest to anybody. So, great potential there with the historic region. We've actually also come up with a brand new discovery. This is what we're calling our Buckingham Gold discovery. Just found in the last couple of years. We just drilled it this past spring. Some very nice numbers there. You can see over an ounce intercepts. High-grade gold at the surface. We're seeing up to 700 grams per ton in select surface grab samples. So great to have high-grade gold veins, and also we're also seeing disseminated gold. This is very important too. It starts to make you think a bit about the Hale gold mine just down in South Carolina. We're on the same trend there. Perhaps not the exact same style of mineralization, but certainly the way you look at a deposit, not just as a single vein, but perhaps a vein or a zone of veining with some disseminated mineralization around it, that's really where Romarco excelled. They went in and just with a modern mindset took a look at a historic area and then ended up with a 4 million ounce deposit that's being mined right now by Oceana Gold, and a great win for the old Remarco shareholders there. That was an over 80 bagger, I think, on that one. The other great thing, of course, is it does still have the copper, zinc, cobalt potential. And when the market's ready for it, I think, I love the fundamentals of copper right now. It's great to have some projects ready to turn on when the market gets turned back on to those metals. Why is Virginia such a great place to be? It's the easiest place I've ever operated. And the reason for that is that it's what's called a fee simple jurisdiction as far as property rights go. So that means if you own the private land, or if you own the land, you own everything. There's no permitting required for exploration or drilling. That allows you to operate very quickly. I don't have to wait around for a permit to go drill. When I signed my first property here last year, at the beginning of March, by the end of March I was drilling. It took about 2.5 weeks to get the drills on site and going. So private land is great, and you want to have the best private landowner, and the best private landowner is a timber company. Timber companies, again, they're in the resource game. They're looking to raise or make money out of these out of their lands. They pick up large land packages, so they own large land packages. So you can get in there, do the exploration you need to make a discovery, and then turn it into a mine, without stepping on too many toes. So it's a great jurisdiction to operate in. Of course, you can drill year-round. We're in a great commodity with gold, and it's really just really unexplored with modern methods. We just signed an agreement with the biggest timber company in the United States just this past late summer. So we have about 11,000 acres. I like to call these highly curated acres because, Don Taylor has been working in this area since the 90s. He knows which acres, he really wanted to pick up. So we picked up what we think is the best land. And really, that's what we're going to be operating in the near future here. You can just see some of this little picture of the gold. It's nice, clean, free gold in quartz veins and some disseminated mineralization as well. You can see some of the hits there. It's open along strike and at depth, and we're going to be drilling there again in a couple of weeks. And just to kind of really drive the point home, why the Buckingham Gold Project is so good. It's high-grade gold. It's at the surface, again, open along strike. It is actually within a much larger gold in soil and stream anomaly. It's in one of the best jurisdictions, and I don't have to wait to drill it. So, if this thing gets big, we can make it, we can drill it very quickly. So, great for us. And then just, why you want to be in Virginia. Again, great geology, great jurisdiction, unexplored. We've got a great experienced team that's been working in this area since the 90s. We are a tiny micro-cap stock, less than 10 million market cap, so great upside potential. We have some great volume with our stock, and we do have those exposure to the base metal plays when the market turns. This is an investment conference, so I should show a bit of the share structure there. Just the important things I've highlighted there. Management and insiders, about 9%. I own about just over 2% myself. Some strong institutional names there, big holdings. Our average daily volume last year, average out over the whole year, was about 500,000 shares per day. That's a lot of volume, and really allows you to work with the stock. We do have a placement open right now. It is penciled in, fully subscribed, oversubscribed, but very glad to get that wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. Raising money can make me pretty cranky, but I'm happy now. So what are we doing over the next, what have we done over the last year, pretty much since last time I was here? We've, about a year ago, we acquired the Virginia project, and then we signed a letter of intent with a major timber company. That took a little while to get sorted out, but we got there. We signed a deal with a smaller company for a Buckingham property. Started drilling again within just a couple of weeks. We didn't have to wait. We made I think a great near-surface high-grade discovery, or expanded on a discovery there. We finally got that letter of intent converted into a definitive agreement at the end of August. So we have the agreement with the major timber company. This fall, we've been doing some detailed soil sampling. As a result of that, we actually kind of stumbled across, let's call it the other outcrop in this 5,000 acre property at Buckingham. It's a 500 meter long quartz vein with gold that we're picking up in the soils right adjacent, like actual pan gold from the soil, right adjacent to those veins. We're very excited about the potential for that. And then our plans for right now, drilling at Buckingham in the main zone that we've already drilled, and to get out to this new zone and drill that. I used to have a lot of words on this next steps, but really this is what it's all about. In one word, we're just going to drill. So thanks a lot. We have some gold samples at the booth. Come on by, take a look. Glad to tell you more about the story.